All right, everybody, day 3. Today we're talking about Desmos. And I know some people have a lot of experience, good or bad, with Desmos. I know some people don't have a lot of experience at all. But I try to make Desmos as simple as possible and and I provide you with these little templates, these little sheets that are kind of built to kind of help out. Okay, so today is about Desmos and the 4 basic relationships that we will be talking about in physics. Cool? All right, let's do this. So a couple just housekeeping things. I hate when teachers used to say that. I don't like that live with me or anything, but here we go. So right here, this is the course. You probably have seen 1.1, 1.2. I really recommend doing these in order, okay? Just do them in order. Trust me on that one. Also right here, this is your to-do list. I have a bunch of stuff to do because this is like grading and everything like that. Today, we're going to be right here, 1.3. There's actually 3 things today. You'll see this right here is the presentation, which you can open up. This will be the video of me teaching it. And this is probably the most powerful thing, most important thing. It's that right there. Today, this day is actually a lot more low key. This right here should probably take you maybe 20, maybe 30 minutes tops. And then there's a quiz. So today is a little bit easier. Also, again, I have to apologize for speaking so quickly. Feel free to pause this video, digest it. I speak quickly because YouTube limits me to 10 minutes, and I can't really, I don't like to post multiple videos for one theme, okay? So let's go ahead and talk about this today. So we're talking about Desmos and relationships. So in this class, whether you took it online, or you're taking it online right now, or if you took it in the past in person, we use Desmos a lot, but maybe your school didn't, okay? So Desmos is a website, but it's basically a graphing calculator, all right? And we use it to graph our lab data, okay? But before we do that, I want to talk about data tables and understanding them, especially how I organize them in my class. So I'm going to keep on with this example. How does the size of an airplane's wings affect the distance it flies? So this is the research question. I'm changing the airplane wings. I'm measuring how far it goes. Okay, so here's my data table. So I'm going to move this a little bit up. Oh, you can't move it. That is great. Anyway, so this first thing that you're going to see on the left here is the size of the wings. Okay, and that's my independent variable. So I have 2 centimeters, 4 centimeters, 6 centimeters. This is the size of the wings. This right here is always my independent variable, what I changed. All right. This right here, these are my dependent variables, but there's 3 trials. Okay, this is what I measured. So in the first trial, it went 3.3 meters, and then the next one, 3.50, and then 3. Okay, so we have to understand this data table is the very first step. Then what we're going to do is we're going to find the average of these 3. You don't include that because that's the independent variable. And then you can do the margin of error. Now, a lot of people call the margin of error the uncertainty, and I probably should have used the word uncertainty, but I usually teach this class in Spanish, and it's margen de error, and you don't use the word uncertainty, so I kind of forgot about that. So this is the uncertainty, okay? Margin of error. So next thing is I'm going to calculate my averages. So we talked about this last class, 3.3 plus 3.5 plus 3.0 equals, and then divided by 3. So I got my averages, and then the margin of error, AKA the uncertainty, same thing. The biggest, 3.5 minus the smallest, 3.0 divided by 2. Bam. So this is the information. Now we have to talk about how to put it into Desmos. So for this first one, I give you the link. So here's the link, okay? You can click on it if you want. I'm basically going to be doing it. And what you'll see here is I have to now choose what information I put here. So this first one right here, the independent variable 246 goes right here, 246. All right, now the average is what goes in the second one. So in the average, I have 3.3, 12.7, and wait for this thing to disappear, 29. Bam, okay? The uncertainty, so that's where that goes. Now the uncertainty, I look at my uncertainties and I look for the biggest one, and it's 4.5. And what I do is I put this right here at 4.5. You can either move it like that, or you can even just type in 4.5, okay? Cool. Now what I do is I move this C bar and I try to get it so that any of the 4 lines go into the boxes. And what you'll notice here is I can't get the red line, definitely can't get the green line. So I'm trying to get that blue line right. Ooh, there it is. Oh, I bet I can get a little bit better. How about right there? Bam, look at that. That's nice. That is a best fit line right there. And that's the point of Desmos. And what this tells me is a couple things. One, it says that this blue line is the best fit line. Okay, and we're going to talk about what the different lines represent. So it's the blue line. And also it gives me this constant value, 0.8. Okay, so if this was the experiment that I would do, I'd say, oh, this right here is this is called a quadratic relationship, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And my C value is 0.8, my constant value. Okay, bam. And that's what that looks like right there. Okay, I'm going to delete these just because if you want to put them in there, actually, you know what, I'm going to keep it like that. If you want to put them in there, you can. Okay, cool, cool. So that is using Desmos. Now, these lines right here can look a couple different ways, okay? They can look basically like any of these four things. And these four represent four different relationships or types of equations. There's linear, and that's where a line is red like that. So linears look like this, okay? And when you change the C, it changed the steepness. So this is a linear relationship. This right here is a quadratic relationship. This right here is an inverse relationship. And this right here is a horizontal relationship. Cool. Those are the four relationships. So anytime we do an experiment, we take it, we calculate the averages, calculate the uncertainties, put them into the graph, and then we move this C until we can get something with one line goes the best in between them all. And then what we say is, oh, this right here is quadratic, okay? Or maybe it's linear. See, it doesn't quite work with linear. Linear, it doesn't enter the boxes very well. Maybe a little, but not very well. Definitely better with quadratic. So that's how we use Desmos and to determine the relationship type. So for your homework, that's all you're doing for right now. You are basically just taking some data. The first two problems, you have to calculate the average and certainty, then use that information to put it right here, and then you are going to be plotting it and determining the relationship type and writing down the C value. Okay? Then there's a little quiz, and then we'll move on to how to use that information and incorporate it with the equations next time. That's all I got for today. Email me if you have any questions or concerns. I will talk to you all later. Take it easy.